it's my pleasure to announce our next speaker, which is Marcel van Oosterhout. And as a first question for Marcel after my introduction, I would like to build on the discussion that we're having. We see the technology is evolving in a very fast way, and is ethics keeping up in the same pace? But first, let me introduce our next guest. Marcel is the Deputy Executive Director of the Erasmus Center for Data Analytics, and he's been working in the AI space for a long time, way before GPT hit us in December 2022. I'm very curious what is going on in the world of academic, and especially here at the Rotterdam School of Management, a university that is known for his close ties with the business world. Marcel, welcome in your own turf, basically. I'm the guest, but...
Thank you. I hope you can hear me well.
Yep. We can? Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for inviting me and sharing a little bit some insights in what is happening here at the Erasmus University in Rotterdam. I'm responsible for the Erasmus Center for Data Analytics, and that's the flagship center for cross-disciplinary insight in the societal impact and business value of artificial intelligence, data, immersive technologies at the Erasmus University Rotterdam. We started this initiative indeed a couple of years ago, just prior to COVID, in the business school, but since then we've quickly moved this into an inter-faculty initiative. And what we do is we connect our students and researchers to the outside world to encourage applied data-driven research to work on societal challenges, to enhance data and AI savviness of our partners and our students, and also have some skilling and reskilling programs, and finally create an impact through community building, innovative programs and new formats. And the Sustainable Development Goals are an important framework to basically lead our endeavors. So quickly give an overview of all the labs and experts that we have at our university. Here you see the different schools. So we've organized them around what we call expert practices or labs. And on the one hand, some of the labs focus on technology, but of course that's not the core of our researchers. There are many researchers focusing on specific methodologies, organization and governance. So how do you organize yourself as an organization using these technologies? How do you make sure indeed that you take ethics into consideration, but also the legal and compliancy dimension? And the core, I think, of the more foundational expertise is on the human behavior and societal impact layer. So how are humans and AI going to work together? How to design applications from a user-centric perspective, but also what will be the impact of AI on how we organize our work and how will future work actually look like. We do this in several application domains. So on the business side, these are some of the domains that we work with. And of course, the port and transport and logistics with the Port of Rotterdam is, of course, one of the key areas. And then if you look at the grand societal challenges that we want to contribute with our researchers, on the one hand, we have health, pharma and care, where we collaborate with professors also from the medical center, energy and environmental sustainability, smart cities and communities, safety, security, surveillance, and digital heritage, culture, and religion. And all these expert practices are led by one or two professors, and there's a whole community behind it. And our role is to bring that community together to look for new synergies and crossovers among these experts. We're really a connector, so we connect stakeholders from different backgrounds, technology partners, startups, scale-ups, public and private stakeholders. And we also have a corporate membership model. Part of our funding also comes from these corporate members. To put it in a little bit wider context, we are also operating in the context of the Convergence Initiative, which is a strategic collaboration between the Erasmus University, the Medical Center, and the Technical University Delft. Within that initiative, there are 3 main programs, focus areas, and we're in the lead for the AI, data, and digitalization program from Erasmus side. And one of the elements in that program is to set up what we call joint research centers and initiatives. And every center has then professors coming from different partners, different universities joining. And here you see the AI-related initiatives and the leads from the Erasmus University Rotterdam. So fintech is an important area, the port, digital ethics in healthcare, the future of work, energy system intelligence, generative AI, immersive technology, and we also have a program working with small and medium-sized companies. Then we have a physical place on campus, basically the hub where a lot of the activities take place, where we host several programs and we work with different technology companies. One of the rooms is a data lab where our students and researchers can work with the latest data tools and access specific data sources. We have recently set up an AI XR lab. It's a kind of a place to experiment and engage and work with the latest XR technologies, because we also see this is probably the next thing, the next phase, how to use these technologies combined with AI to immerse yourself in new environments. We also do a lot of skilling, reskilling programs and also master classes for externals. A couple of big programs at our university. One of the programs is to look at the campus itself. How can we make it more data-driven? How can we, for instance, combine data from different sensors, link it to data from the campus users, to find out how can we enhance the well-being of the campus users, the sustainability of the campus, but also the use of facilities and places, rooms on campus. We initially start with, let's say, creating insight with dashboards, but at a later stage, we will also might be using AI to, for instance, predict the use of space and to optimize, for instance, energy use in our buildings. Then there's another program. We all are faced with AI. We have the EU AI Act, and also we as a university need to comply and be prepared for that. And for that, we have the AI at EUR program, where we map the activities going on in the context of AI. We are creating an AI algorithm register. And next to that, we are setting up guidelines in the use of AI. Then another interesting program is the Erasmus language model, which has been started, I think, a year ago by 2 of our researchers. And basically, they said ChatGPT has a lot of limitations and challenges, and you see some of those listed here. And actually, we need to come up with our own ChatGPT alternative. And for that, they've created what's called the Erasmus language model. This is trained on our own data sources and academic content. It guarantees privacy. It has a relatively low environmental impact. It's a much smaller model. Currently, it runs on local infrastructure. It's based on open source, trained in Dutch and English. And within that model, we try to mitigate biases which are existing in the ChatGPT model. Some of the plans for coming year are to work more towards the carbon positive aspect of the model, set up chat environments, and further development of the model. Then another interesting thing to share with you is basically what are our researchers looking into if we talk about AI. One of the areas is the societal impact of AI, so how will it impact society? Then there are researchers looking into the value, the impact in different application domains. human-centric design of AI in work, and finally, also using AI as a tool to do research. And here I will share a few examples of the research which is currently going on. So we have a very big program which is called AI Pact, Societal Impact of AI. And in that program, we do basically research in how AI impacts work and into 4 domains: AI in art and culture, work and labor, healthcare and communication and change. And one of the interesting ideas in that program was to start using art, connecting citizens, artists, and researchers in starting up a conversation on what are the benefits, but also some of the challenges of AI. And currently there's also an an exposition with some of the findings of that program. Another interesting group within AI Pact is looking into the use of generative AI tools. And they're organizing workshops where participants basically use these tools and in parallel think about what will the future of, for instance, our company look like. So in parallel, they use the tools to do kind of scenario building, but also they learn, well, let's say the added value of generative AI, but also some of the biases that come out of creating, for instance, visuals with these tools. Some other research insights. This is personally, I think, a really interesting research done by Klaartje Terhoeven. She looks into, let's say, the people behind AI, behind the tech and the platforms. It's called ghost workers. Well, often the quality of work is, let's say, not so good for these people. And they work on, for instance, tagging content, feeding the algorithms. And, well, her research looks into, makes this explicit and known, but also how can we improve the work conditions for these people who basically are platform workers. Another group of researchers looks into social networks, our youth, and how are they using social media and AI, and what type of interventions can we create to, well, keep a good work-life balance and mitigate potential negative effects of the use of these technologies. Another interesting program is focusing on AI in public safety and security. In that program, we collaborate with many stakeholders, amongst them the Dutch police. And there we look into the use of AI tools in several use cases in the context of public safety and security. The health domain, there, of course, a lot is happening. We just heard about some of the previous speakers, some of the potential use of AI. We have here 3 examples of researchers working in health. Some of the researchers are looking into what's called the consultation room of the future, where basically a patient's home is connected with the hospital and with different types of tools. Basically, this whole process is changed and more streamlined. Bioinformatics, leveraging AI for deep learning for single-cell morphology. Pieter van der Spek, that's a really interesting new stream of research where AI is used to really go into cell level and use that to predict different types of diseases. And finally, Guy Liberali, he's working on trial design experimentation, which has to do with using machine learning to advance the design and analysis of medical trials. And this is typically an example where the research started in the marketing domain and now the insights and algorithms are brought to the health domain. Another area of research is retail. Robert Rodekerk, he looks into the AI opportunities of using AI in multi-channel retail setting. And this was an interesting study recently finished where we basically looked into the customer journey, life cycle, and then what AI tools do we see there? What's the potential of the tools? But also how mature are the tools at the moment? We see a lot of potential for the use of AI in, let's say, the retail customer journey. Then energy transition, climate change, of course, this is a really important application domain where a lot of data is needed to basically match the supply of energy and increasingly renewable energy with the demand of energy. So basically creating a good prediction model on both sides is important. And next to that, then matching, let's say, the supply with the demand is, well, a big challenge, and AI can play, I think, a really important role here. And this is an example of a project that we're currently doing, funded by the European Commission with the Port of Rotterdam, TU Delft, and several other partners, where we are basically creating and testing these matching algorithms, but also see how we can visualize the insights into a digital twin of the port. So that's actually my short introduction into what is happening within the Erasmus University in terms of AI. So there's a lot of research going on. We're also looking how to use AI in our operations, and of course in the education there are several programs to prepare our students in the use of these technologies. I'd like to stop my contribution and open it for questioning.
Thank you, Marcel. It's quite an extensive program you run at Erasmus University. And one of the questions that arises is, how do these investigations keep each other informed? How do you make sure that people are not working in silos?
Yeah, that's a very good point. So the community building is really important. So we have several ways to connect the community. We have monthly events where we update each other with short presentations. We have a Teams channel in which we update each other. And several times a year, we have smaller seminars where the researchers present updates of their work. But there's a lot going on, and indeed, this is a challenge to keep each other up to date.
And another question that arises, you spoke about the Erasmus language model. Is this something that the outstanders could potentially use in the future?
Potentially. I think it's still in startup phase, so it's in experimentation phase. I shared in my presentation a link to a GitHub, so I think others can also start experimenting with it. And we're currently looking into plans to scale it up and connect it to some other initiatives.
Okay, and the question I asked you in the beginning was about the speed of technology compared to the speed of the discussion around the ethics on AI. What are your ideas? It doesn't necessarily have to be in the healthcare sector that the first two speakers spoke about, but this is quite an issue. What is your take on that?
I think ethics are really important and should be basically the basis of any new AI application that is developed. But it is a challenge to keep this high on the list of priorities and to work according to certain ethical principles. So actually we have in a couple of weeks a roundtable exactly discussing the topic of AI and ethics, how to prepare yourself for ethical design, what principles to use, ethical maturity models, etc.
Well, thank you again for having us. And you have quite an impressive lab here that we are currently in. It's really impressive. I'd like to invite anybody to take a look yourself. Thank you for your presentation. And it's over to the next speaker.
Thank you. And good luck with the event.
Thank you.